Okay, my year 12 and year 13 math students, in this question we are given the first derivative, so given dy by dx is equal to 5x to the minus half plus x root x, where x is greater than 0, okay, so bigger than 0. Given that y is equal to 35 and x at x equals 4, find y in terms of x, giving each term in the simplest form. So our job is to make it so we get y and a function of x, okay, on the right hand side of your left hand side. Okay, so either f of x equals y or y equals f of x. So currently we have the first derivative. So what's the opposite of differentiation, guys? Well, that would be integration. Okay, so I'm going to integrate both sides. So I'm going to integrate dy by dx is equal to the integral of 5x to the minus half plus x root x. Okay, now what I'm going to do here is I'm going to multiply both sides of my equation by the dx. So we have the integral of dy, okay, or 1 dy you could say, is equal to the integral of 5x to the minus half plus x root x dx. Okay, so multiplying both sides of my equation essentially by dx. Okay, now normally we don't treat this as a fraction, normally we don't, but in this context when we're integrating, okay, this is the only exception where I treat the left hand side here as a fraction rather than just derivative. Okay, so the integral of 1 dy, which go to y, is equal to the integral of this. So I'm going to add 1 to our power. Oops, sorry guys. So adding 1 to our power and then dividing by our new power. So 5x to the minus a half plus 1 will be plus a half, divided by a half. Then here we're going to have, so this will actually be x to the power of 1 times x to the power of a half, okay, which is x to the power of 3 halves. Now if I integrate that, that will become x to the power of 5 halves over 5 halves, okay, plus c. I'm now going to tidy this up. So we got y is equal to 5 divided by half. Well, divided by half actually doubles your answer. So double of 5 is going to be 10. So it's 10x to the power of a half. Then I've got plus 1 divided by 5 halves. Well, dividing by 5 halves is the same as multiplying by the reciprocal. So times it by 2/5. X to the power of 5 halves. And then don't forget the plus c. I'm now going to substitute in y equals 35 when x is equal to 4. So we got 35 is equal to 10 brackets 4 to the power of a half plus 2/5 multiplied by 4 to the power of 5 halves. Okay, plus the c. Now, power of a half just means the square root. So the square root of 4 is going to be 2. 10 times 2 is going to be 20. So you have 35 is equal to 20 plus. Here I've got 4 to the power of 5 halves. So a fractional power, that will be the square root of 4. And then raise it to the power of 5. The square root of 4 is going to be 2. So we have 2 to the 5, which is equal to 32. I'm timesing it by 2/5, so that'll be 64/5. Okay, plus c. Okay, I'm now going to try and combine this into one go. So 20 whole equals 100 over 5 or 100/5. Okay, plus 64/5. So we have 35 is equal to 164/5 plus c. Subtracting this on both sides, okay, so let me just convert 35 into fifths by timesing it by 5. That's going to be what, 17? So it's going to be 175 fifths. Subtract 164 fifths makes what, 11 fifths, right? So C is equal to 11 fifths, or 11 over 5. So putting our answer together, we're going to get y is equal to 10x to the power of a half plus 2/5 x to the power of 5 halves plus 11 fifths. as our final answer. And that is how we do integration, okay, when you're given the first derivative, okay, and that's to find the original function, okay. So to go from dy by dx to y, okay, we integrate both sides because that's the reverse process of differentiating, okay. So integrating both sides, okay. Obviously, yeah, remembering you have to obviously change that to x to the power of 1 times x to the power of a half. Okay, I'm going to add my powers, okay, using my index laws. So it becomes x to the power of 3 halves there. Rather than this, you can change that to the plus 3 halves x. Okay, and then integrate both sides. So you add 1 to the power and then divide by that new power. Okay, once you've done that, okay, don't forget your plus c. We then sub in, okay, our initial condition, okay, or a particular condition to work out the value of c, giving us c to be 11/5, okay, giving us a final answer of y is equal to 10x to the power of a half plus 2/5 x to the power of 5 halves plus 11/5. Okay, thank you very much.